Take a good look, everybody, because this is the last time you're going to see my truck on 33s. Welcome back to the Tacomaholic channel, everybody. It is Friday, and I am super excited today because I am actually getting the 35s mounted on the Tacoma. So if you are new to the channel and have not subscribed yet, today is the perfect time to subscribe. Alright guys, I don't know if you can see them back there. I got the tires mounted up in the back, headed over to get them mounted, balanced, all that fun stuff. You have no idea how excited I am for this. This has been a long time coming. The 33s have been great. I can't wait to see the performance of the 35s off-road, and let's be honest, they just look awesome. And I feel like it sets you apart just a little bit from the Tacoma crowd. Unless you're someone with 37s, then you probably think adding 35s is lame. So I'm gonna get these mounted up, and then give you guys the first on-road clearance experience, you know, how it affects my transmission, all that stuff. So I will see you in just a little bit. And now that the 35s are actually getting on the Tacoma, the 35 playlist I made, linked up on the screen right there, check that out, should really start taking off. And I'm going about 70 miles an hour right now, and my RPMs on the 33s are right at 2,000, maybe like 1950, not sure if that's really showing up on camera. And yeah, my speedometer says 65, but it hasn't been recalibrated, so it's about actually 5 miles an hour faster. So curious to see how much that jumps up at, say, you know, flat highway speeds going to the 35s. It also took them like 4.5 hours. I was like, oh, screw these guys. It was like Virginia Tire Center. 4 tires? Yeah. And real quick, while the thing is at full droop, it looks like I have a perfect amount of droop for my brake lines back there. This is full droop, so unless everything just tears free, it's not going to get any more flex than this, and still have a little bit of play, so excited about that. So that 1-inch spacer I added down here looks like it's definitely the perfect amount. Cool, I've never actually like seen the process.
Yeah, this is breaking the beat down.
Yeah, well, I've seen guys pop beat off road.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Inadvertently.
I'm sure.
Like I told you not to do those donuts when you're aired down.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what did you think was gonna happen?
Such thick tires, they like barely fit in that little area.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that last time.
I mean, these are not asking for a lot of weight so far, so.
Hope you didn't just jinx it. So they're just like soapy water or whatever, just to lube the rim, I guess, without sounding perverted? Okay. It's like a specific thing.
Brew glide. Yep.
Not for personal use.
I mean, people do use like Dawn dish soap and stuff. That seems
That'll work.
This just works way better.
Yeah.
They really just slide on. And also on tires, I don't know if people know this, but that mark, you line it up with a valve stem to make your balancing a lot easier.
Okay, very cool. I have no idea. And what's the green one then?
So that you can do it at either one.
Okay.
I always do red on big tires because it seems to like put the load down more for balancing.
Did not know that. Very cool.
I would like to go technical, but I don't really know.
Yeah, it's just something they do.
Yep.
I'm glad you warned me. I might have shit myself.
That's loud.
Like, you weren't kidding. Had a good grip on the camera so I didn't drop it, you know. So why did you have to do that with this tire but not the other one?
Sometimes when they stack tires, they get a little more compressed, and I can't get the bead to sit up.
It's just off a little bit?
Yep, so this push down, the bead will sit over there, and it forces air all the way around to seat it up.
So that blast literally physically forced that part of the tire lower?
Well, me pushing down, and then the air literally distributes inside so quickly, it pushes the bead up and seals.
Physics.
I mean, with the pedal here, the second press, so this is just filling. Some tires I can, and then seat it from the bottom, but this one didn't do it the first time.
Huh. Interesting.
Bigger tires are sometimes trickier.
I can imagine, yeah. So the other way was just to get enough air in there to get it to hug the bead, and then this is
this is just faster than the machine, so I just fill it to desired pressure.
Gotcha. I got a power tank at home now that I use for it. Fills up 35s in like 30 seconds. It's amazing. I'm like,
that's awesome.
Everyone's using like their ARB compressors on the trail. I'm like, come on guys, let's go.
Yeah.
I want to go home. It's taking so long.
I thought what would be cool, I was thinking about it, it was like taking like some old scuba tanks and like mounting it in the bed or something like that, and having the ARB still just fill the tanks, but you have reservoir now, you have capacity instead of just having to do...
Wait for it to refill. Yeah, because they're so small. Have you ever seen one of these like fly off the machine because someone didn't tighten it down all the way?
No, because the machine won't notice that it has a loose hub.
Cut off? Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Like a dryer that's out of balance or whatever, or a washing machine.
Cuts it.
That's good. I'm gonna stand back just in case though.
Oh, wheel link is flying now.
So is there a display that tells you like, okay.
So like, I do static on big tires, which is basically putting the weight dead center right behind the spokes.
Right.
Other ones, you have the option to do here, outer, inner. So like if I change the setting right here.
Yeah.
6.5 ounces and 12.2 ounces.
That's doing it offset.
That's doing it.
It's like, why would you even do that, you know?
So I just know from experience.
Yeah.
You stick it at static.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
You don't even notice the difference on trucks. Like a small car, you might notice that, but they're also not requiring 4 ounces. They want like quarter ounce, maybe an ounce max.
Quarter ounce. It's like a piece of bubble gum.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's a quarter ounce.
And these need 4.
Yeah,
it's like a whole strip.
That's 3 ounces.
There it is. We'll run it again just to make sure.
Yeah, always. Because it could ask for something opposite, or I just like to make sure there's 0.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll be driving home like, what the hell? This ain't right.
I mean, it could ask for more. It could be like, no, that's wrong, but we got it.
So what like speed mile per hour equivalents does it like rotate up to, like 30 or just?
I thought it was like 40.
Okay.
I know some go to like 60.
Wow.
But that's a much nicer balance there. Your legs are the strongest muscle, right?
Yeah. Maybe not my legs, but yeah, on other people, yeah.
It's still
I'm always more of an arm guy, shoulders, you know.
They're still stronger than you think.
That's true, yeah.
Beefy.
And there they are, boys. So pumped with how they look. And this part is just going to be my first thoughts on the 35s, literally first drive home. And it's going to be quick because it is gross outside and it's supposed to like thunderstorm all day today. So I don't want to get caught out here in the rain. But the funny thing is, these tires, and I know this is just really this tire versus my old tires, these tires are so quiet compared to my old tires. And just in case you're wondering, these are the Yokohama Geolanders, of course, 315 75 R16. My old tires, which were, I mean, they weren't super loud, but they were definitely louder than these, were the Goodyear Wrangler MTRs with the Kevlar on the sidewall, 285 75 R16. So I'm very excited about that because you guys know, usually mud terrains with the aggressive tread, It's very annoying driving on the highway, like to get to the trail, listening to that. And I've done sound deadening and all that, but like I'm not running my back seats for that insulation. So having a quieter tire already, I am super pumped. But again, not necessarily related to it being a 35. That's just this tire with this tread versus what I was running before. Still good to have though. When I first put the 33s on the truck, I didn't really know what I was getting into, and I rubbed big time even just driving from the tire shop back to my house. And I was hoping I was able to avoid that this time because I did a lot of prep work, some of which has been done for about a month. So like I snuck the body lift in on you guys. So I haven't talked about it yet, but those videos are coming very soon now that the tires are actually on the truck. So I am super excited to relate that as far as street driving is concerned, zero rubbing at all with the 35s. I got the wheels locked real quick. I'll show you that in just a second, but I realize it'll be a different case off-road. I've got some hammering to do, but at least I can get around town without worrying about, you know, I won't be able to make a U-turn or anything like that. So first thing I'll point out for the clearancing is if it's going to show up. So again, this is at full lock. I mean, there's a little more movement if the truck's on, but it's off for the video purposes. But again, zero rubbing. I have at least 2 fingers widths right there, so I guess maybe an inch or something between the upper control arm. So that is one area you are likely to rub. Of course, the big one, at least as far as street driving is concerned, when the tire is not stuffed up in the fender well there, is the cab mount. Now, I had my buddy Eat Sleep Tacos do a super aggressive cab mount chop. That's going to be its whole video just to show you guys that process, probably coming very soon. But just to give you a sneak peek, again, full lock without being stuffed up in there. And this looks like maybe even an inch and a half, or yeah, about the same right here at the closest point. About another inch of clearance right there with the cab mount, of course, on both sides. So those are the 2 biggest areas you need to worry about rubbing for street driving. You can see definitely I'm going to have to hammer a bunch of this stuff back. I need to like remove the shocks and do all that, but that's going to be a whole other thing by itself anyway. But as far as driving on the street, I'm good to go. And another quick thing I would like to mention is these tires feel exactly like the 33s I just replaced them with, according to my butt dyno. Not always the most accurate thing, but I checked the RPMs, I drove around town a little bit, highway speeds, feels exactly the same. I was worried the truck was going to be like a slug because I've heard horror stories that as soon as people add 35s on their truck without re-gearing or doing any of that, it just drives like crap. But the truck feels the same to me. Again, not the most responsive vehicle to begin with, but it feels fine so far, so I'm very excited about that. I think the main reason for that is, and I mentioned this in that video I'll link to right above, where I actually took one of these tires and test fitted it on and actually weighed it with a wheel. I used the full-size spare at the time because these weren't mounted, obviously. I weighed the 35 with the wheel, which is of course the same wheel, versus the current setup I'm running, and I want to say the 35 was just like 1 or 2 pounds heavier, which is amazing. So I believe that is the culprit for why these tires actually feel the same. Curious to see how my gas mileage is going to get hit. I haven't really noticed any change in the RPMs, but these tires are, I want to say, an inch wider. I think these are 12.5 wide, where my old ones were 11.5. So that extra bit of contact with the pavement is going to, of course, increase the rolling resistance just a little bit, which should put a little bit of a hit on your miles per gallon. But you know what? When you're getting into running 35s, you really don't give a shit about miles per gallon. Remember, it's all about smiles per gallon. And aside from that, I'm not really sure what else to mention in this video. Again, this is just my first thoughts. I will do a much more in-depth video about with the 35s, of course, how they perform off-road once I have them for a few hundred or a few thousand miles, you know, let them sit in. But I still have plenty of work to do to get these to actually, I don't know if I'll be able to get them to not rub at all when I go off-road, but definitely minimize that when the tires are fully stuffed.
When the mare's above.
When the tires are fully stuffed up in the fender and I'm trying to turn and stuff like that. The back's not so much an issue. The front is where you're going to have all the fun, and you know I'll cover all that stuff for you guys. Again, make sure you check out the playlist up here for the fitting 35s on your Tacoma. And that will do it for this video, everyone, and I'm glad because it is gross outside. It is disgustingly hot. It's time to take a shower, edit this video, and get it out to you guys tonight, just in time for the weekend. As always, thank you so much for supporting the channel by watching this video. Help the channel grow by sharing it with your friends on social media, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I upload a video. Enjoy your upcoming weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.